Hello, Robert Weber. This is Paula Harvey and Angela from the Sci-Fair Chamber. We were calling you, videoing you, virtual conferencing you to find out how you're doing. We want to know how you're doing. We know that Texas is opening business now a little bit by little bit. And you have a gym part, you have a couple training parts, and we want to hear more about how you're doing and how you're transitioning with all this.
Hi, ladies. How are y'all today?
Good.
We're good. It's been a really wild 8 weeks. 8 weeks ago, all this kind of started. We had our best January ever for Silverback self-defense. And then February and March, we kind of fell off a cliff. Things started really shutting down. And obviously for Silverback, our main business is corporate self-defense, group self-defense. And people obviously are not gathering together. No one's getting together. No companies are getting together. No groups want to be in close proximity. So we quickly had to pivot in a big way. And on the positive side, our personal training and our one-on-one training has skyrocketed because we have companies and people who are calling us almost on a weekly basis that said, well, right now I'm working from home. I wouldn't have this opportunity for you to come to my home and train me because I'd be too busy. Or I have my teenage son who plays all of these sports, but he needs to learn self-defense. And we want you to come train him, but he wouldn't be able to do it because he'd be too busy. I've trained individuals, I've trained families, I've trained teenagers, I've trained adults, men and women. And the positive is that it's freed up a lot of their time to learn something they've always been passionate or felt like it was important, but they never could make time. So, and then also the same thing, firearms training, gun ranges had been deemed essential. So we're still doing license to carry classes. We're still doing basic pistol classes because I had a license to carry class on Saturday. We only had 5 people, which was great. Everybody could stay 6 feet apart. No big deal. And then I was telling you guys, I've started to do more videos. My YouTube channel, I'm putting up videos almost twice a week, and I'm getting a lot of response from that. And then we're selling a lot of personal protection products. So I put a video up, and then somebody will say, hey, I want to get something. I want to get that, or can I come by and pick that up? And then we have pivoted to doing Zoom. So I'm doing Zoom webinars, Zoom calls, Zoom training, and I've set up to where, I have my camera and then I'm able to project somebody. I have a projector and I can project somebody on the wall and teach and train. It's not ideal, but if you have somebody who wants to learn something and is really wanting to learn, we're figuring out a way to make that happen. So for Silverback, it's been, very unique to see our business model change. Positive, I'm getting to do more creative things, and it's pushing me as a business owner outside of my box in my comfort zone, which is good because now I'm doing more things that I wouldn't have done. For our gym, obviously for 8 weeks, it's been empty, and I've been coming up every day to the gym and doing Zoom classes for my Taekwondo class, for my Krav Maga class, for my kickboxing class. We've added a boot camp class that's online, that's on Zoom. And our members have been great. We do a Taekwondo class with 50 kids Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday night, all on a Zoom.
That's amazing.
We have 6 instructors, and they break out into breakout rooms with their instructor. I've been in martial arts. I've been in Houston martial arts for 20 years. We did our very first ever virtual belt promotion where we had the kids on Zoom and we tested them on all their material. And then we went and delivered their belts to them on their doorstep with social distancing and a note that said, congratulations. You know, one of the things that we teach in martial arts is perseverance. And for the kids to be able to get online and go through and all the training that they're doing, and it's, you know, at first it was kind of weird, and now they kind of like it, and you know, they're learning, and we're learning. It's making us better instructors to be able to communicate how to do something online when the person's not standing in front of you. But now, as of Monday, we're back to being quote unquote open. We had our first live kickboxing class yesterday morning. We only had 4 people, so we're limited to 25% of our occupancy of our training floor. So we have an 1,800 square foot training floor, so we can have, you know, 10 people on the floor at one time, 6 feet apart, working on bags. We've had our location sanitized and clean. The doors propped open when they come in. They put hand sanitizer on when they come in, and the bags are already set up for them. They go to their bag, and then that's their area that they work in. And anything that they touch or anywhere we go, everything gets sanitized. So prior to coronavirus, our classes were an hour long. Right now, they're 40 minutes long. So that way we have and our waiting room is closed. So people come in, do a class, leave. The 20 minutes between classes, we sanitize everything and set up for the next class. And so we have our students are registering online. We have an app, and they're registering through the app. They register for their classes. They show up for their class. The class is planned. The instructor's there. They do their class. They leave, and then we transition over to the next class. But I've become a pro at doing Zoom and talking to myself in the camera over the last 8 weeks. And so hopefully, you know, as we get further, you know, our hope as we go into June at 25%, and then we get into June at 50%, and then by the time we get into July, we're back to being able to be at 100%. But, you know, we know that it's going to be a slow process. We did a poll for our clients, and about 50% of them are ready to come back, and about 50% of them are not. About 50% of the parents want to have their kids here, and about 50% are keeping them home and keeping them on Zoom. So we'll keep up Zoom for a while and see how everything transitions, and then we have people who can't wait to be back and wait to be training. You know, we're people. The hardest thing for me is I had a meeting this morning. Do you fist bump? Do you elbow bump? Are you willing to shake somebody's hand? Can you give somebody that you know a hug? You know, who's comfortable with what? It's all really different, but it's been a learning experience for me. I mean, I'll just share for you guys. One of the best things for me is my younger kids have both been home from college, and because of a shortened schedule, we get to have dinner together. We never had dinner together as a family because for the entire time they grew up, we worked every night from 5 o'clock at night till 9 o'clock at night. So we never had dinner together. And so we've had dinner together. We've played cards, we play games. And now, you know, my daughter, hopefully, she goes back in the fall, and she's got a countdown for how many days before she gets to leave to go to school. And she's just hoping that that they go back. You know, there's no way to know if they are or not. But my son's working at Pine Cove in Columbus over the summer, and the governor said they can have camps. So he leaves on Friday to go do training for a week, and then he'll have high school students in June and July at Pine Cove. And so we're keeping our fingers crossed that they actually get to go and stay, and they got to try to figure out how to do social distancing. You know, and then, you know, my daughter, it's funny, my daughter works at Finn's in Black Horse, and they're wearing face shields to teach swim lessons. Because they're doing all private lessons, but they have to be close to the child to teach them how to swim.
Right.
So, you know, they're learning a whole different way to do business also. And so it's always kind of neat to see how people are getting to run their business safely, make their customers feel safe, make them actually be safe, and then still be able to have a business. Financially, obviously, you know, it's been difficult. You know, my Silverback is down probably about 60% for the year over last year. You know, fortunately for me, it wasn't my only income, but even at the martial arts school, we're down probably 40% from where we were before this all started, because as people have lost their jobs, as especially for us, we were hit harder with the oil business and people losing jobs in the oil business than we were with coronavirus. But as a parent loses their job, the first thing that they're going to stop doing is extracurricular activities. So, you know, we're hoping and praying that as the economy comes back and people start driving again, that picks back up and people are able to come back. We do know we have a good sign that we have sold 8 trials for people who want to come in and train when we open back up. And so that is a positive sign for us, that people want to come in and they want to train under the guidelines and the stipulations that are happening. And, you know, for me, you know, for Silverback, I'll continue to do private training until we have groups or companies who are ready for their employees to gather together. And then once they are, we'll be back to normal for that. But until then, we'll still do Zooms. You know, our biggest Zoom is the one we've been doing for everybody about how to avoid coronavirus scams. Texas is 3rd in the country in people having coronavirus scams. There have been over 1,500 reports of coronavirus scams from Texas.
Wow.
People getting scammed. And so that's one of our most popular Zooms that we're doing for companies, and we do it for free. We're just doing it as a value add for anybody who wants to empower their employees.
Absolutely.
That's great. Good to know for us to tell others too.
Yeah.
Wow. It sounds like you really adapted and transitioned, and it's kind of a forced thing. We're learning Zoom and all of that too, but wow, we want to hear from business owners because everybody's different, and wow, you've got several things going on. It sounds like you're handling it well.
I will say this, I have a great team of people. I get to do all the fun work. I get to stand in front of the camera and do all the fun work. You know, my wife and her assistant behind the scenes, who are getting all of the classes set up, and all of the, you know, we have to have a new release form now, and all of our families have to see a new policy and procedure so they understand. And they've done a phenomenal job working with our app and our website and getting all that done. And so, you know, I don't take a lot of the credit. I tell people all the time, you know, I have the best job. I get to hit people for a living. And that is what I do really well. But, you know, I have a great team of support that is behind everything that we do. And it's for sure is not me. And so I'm very, very blessed. But I mean, it has been crazy. I think back to the day that the rodeo closed and they announced the rodeo closed. That was like an avalanche. Before that, we had already started having people drop off and doing a little bit of Zoom, but we were having people come in, and the classes had shrunk. So people were coming in, but people were doing Zoom. And then, you know, 1 week after that, we were completely closed. And we had 7 seminars for Silverback booked, and every single one of them got canceled. The school got shut down. We had no idea. So it really has been an incredible, March, April, May, and I keep saying, the year's half over. That's the crazy thing. June is next week, and I mean the year's halfway over, and it's been a wild ride.
So we've been blessed. Robert, what words of encouragement would you give to business owners now as things are starting to open up and they're opening their businesses too?
Well, so my big thing is look for wins and try to find a win every day. How do you find a win? It might be a small win. So one of my wins is I got to have so much more time. So since January, I've lost 35 pounds because I've got to have more time, because I've got to work out more than I ever had because my schedule freed up. So that's a win for me. I learned to be comfortable in front of a camera and how to do and put stuff on my YouTube page. And that's a win for me because I did not do it before. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't. So I procrastinated doing stuff. And so, I think and every business is different. And every business owner is different, and trying to find a small win every day in something that you're doing that makes you realize we're going to be okay. Because obviously there's so many people out there that are not going to be okay. We know that. I mean, we're going to lose so many small businesses, and we're really ultra small. We're a micro business. We're not even a small business. That was, one of the big things, and not to be political, with the government, that they were classifying a business as people who had less than 500 employees.
That's small.
That's small. No, that's not small. If I had 500 employees, that's big.
Yeah.
We don't have 10 employees. We're small. We're a small business. And there's a lot of small businesses that are not going to be able to survive this. But, I try to when I'm talking to my friends is, you got to find different ways to make things happen. And then you have to try to stay positive in what you're doing. It could be really easy to be negative and, have a pity party and I get down. What I love to do more than anything is stand in front of people and teach and train. That's my passion. I love teaching people, but I can't do that right now. So I try to figure out other ways to make it happen and other things that I can do. And that's what I try to tell people to do. I was on a friend's Facebook page and they said, what's one thing you can say to have a good day? And I said, lifelong skill that you need to have is love to learn.
Great. That's great.
Great message.
I love to learn. I never knew anything about Zoom. I didn't know what a breakout room was. I didn't know how to record anything. I didn't know how to share a screen, but I was forced to be uncomfortable, and now I learn, and now I'm able to do it. And, and all those things just make us better in the long run. And I hope that big thing that I ask always is support your local small business in whatever you can do. There are a lot of big businesses that will be okay. Think about your really small ones. I'll give you one example. We shop at the Ace Hardware down on Barker Cypress. Home Depot and Lowe's will be okay. We shop at Ace because they're a small business. That's the kind of thing if I could tell anybody to think about. Starbucks will be okay. Find a small coffee shop like Plum, buy your coffee there. That's who,
That's who you got to support.
That's who needs it,
Yep.
And so, I will say this, I'm blessed. I'm healthy. My family is healthy. My clients are healthy. My friends are healthy. There's never a good thing when people are dying from anything, but we're so blessed because we are. So,
well, very good. Thank you, Robert, so much. I think this will wrap it up. We appreciate you spending your valuable time with us and giving us some great words of encouragement.
Thank y'all. And it's so nice to see your face. I miss seeing everybody's face so much.
We miss seeing you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert. You're a great part of our chamber. Just look forward to things getting better soon, or sooner than better.
Yes.
Sooner than later.
Let's hope so.
All right. Thank you.